You gonna wear that, Lee?
I'm into baseball. No, it's a little cold, actually.
We looked at
What's the one?
Eagle
Okay.
I was-
Boy, it's freezing here. Charlie, want you to heat up? We all set?
And it depends on the lines, how many lines.
We need a motion to open. Oh,
Motion to
Oh, wait a
open.
minute, you know something? Hold on a
Yes.
second, I've gotta
Okay.
get a, go ahead.
You sure? You
Yeah,
ready?
Yeah, yeah, you'll see why. Go ahead.
Okay. Make a motion to open the meeting at 7:35.
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say on June 1st,
Sorry.
Okay.
2016.
Mark, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll do it. I want to welcome everyone to the June 1, 2016 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. My name is Tom Wakefield, and the members on my left is Kathy Franson, Casey Bailey, Mark McCabe. Oh, I didn't put Dan on here, maybe, but Dan, oh, I missed him.
What's
I guess you're not here tonight. Dan McDonald.
Of course I'm here.
And tonight Julie House is off, so we're gonna go a little slower, because we gotta take some notes and stuff. So we'll refer to the agenda, we have one item, and then we're gonna talk about some bookkeeping. But the first item on the agenda is application 216-2, made by Pie Brook Company, Inc., doing business as Sparkle Gear, now I get it, for a special permit to open an office/store where custom decorated apparel and related products and supplies will be sold at the premises located at 939 Salem Street, Unit 1, Assessors Plat 49, Lot 001-1, according to all applicable sections of the Town of Groveland zoning bylaws, including Section 800, and there's a vote anticipated. So, I guess we'll talk to Mr. Pybrook.
Jeff,
Go ahead.
my wife Linda Jeff.
Okay, so tell us what you're gonna do.
We sell decorated apparel. Our largest customers are school teams, cheer, dance, gymnastics. We also sell a lot of kind of mom fan gear.
What?
Mom fan gear, so team names on, with rhinestones and some embroidery and other things, primarily, to women, not too many men.
Is this a manufacturing and/or retail? Do you have stuff like on racks that people can come in and buy it, or is it custom? You come in to a,
Pretty much everything we do leaves custom, although we do have some number of things that are hanging as kind of samples, things that we made, bags that we've done, shirts that we've done. We have very little, if anything, that's kind of ready to walk in and buy. So on the premises, we'll have samples, we'll have space for people to meet with us, and we can talk about what we want, what they want us to do for them, and then we'll put it together and hand it to them.
So you would be open to the public? You wouldn't just be making appointments with people?
Right, we would have hours to be open.
Yeah,
Or by appointment, because we're dealing with a lot of parents, school groups, coaches. Sometimes we have to be available at unusual hours during unusual times of the year. We're fortunate that overwhelmingly for the past number of years, most of our business has been internet, so we've learned to do this over the phone a lot, and a lot is done via email, so it should be fairly low impact.
and you operating this now? This business is in operation?
Yeah, we are in Topsfield, actually out of our home, believe it or not. And we've just gotten to the point where we need places where vendors can come and customers have come. It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah. Do you actually stock the gear, like the shirts and stuff? Do you stock all that?
We don't stock very much. We will buy things when they're on sales, manufactured at specials time, so you buy a couple hundred or something and you get a good deal on it. But we try to do everything just in time, and because everything is custom, you can imagine your typical gymnastics team. They go from little tiny girls, 3 or 4 years old, all the way up to college age kids. We can't possibly stock every size of every color that we would have to do, so we don't even try. We'll keep one of each.
I'm just trying to get a
style.
picture of, back when my son was in high school, I was president of the Boosters, track Boosters, and they won a state meet. So my charge was to get jackets and stuff, so I'm just trying to figure out how, we went to a guy who just did that, but he also had, he had stuff you could buy as well, so you're not really retail,
Not really, there are things that we probably will learn to make and have around, like things with local school logos, local team logos.
Yeah, yeah.
As we get closer to the holidays, there's a lot of kind of New Englandy things you can do that will make knowing that somebody's gonna walk in and ask
Yeah.
for one. July 4th's coming up, we know we're gonna get requests for some,
Yeah.
flags
Yeah,
and things
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
We'll do them. But if our product catalog, which you can find on the internet, just to kind of get a sense for why we can't stock it, there's over 60,000 items. Every one of those, you can change every color, add custom text. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not Walmart.
Yeah.
And
And we have very good suppliers, we can get stuff, overnight, there are plenty of places in Massachusetts that ship to us next day or whatever, so, getting supplies isn't a problem, we just don't, I stock as little as I can, but mostly that's for the internet business, because I wanna turn that stuff around.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Which unit is Unit
That-
1?
that
Is that the
was-
old
that's
K's
not-
interiors?
It's the old K's.
So you're gonna have that whole K's?
That whole thing.
Yeah.
And the curves,
Well, no, it's just the K's interior.
Oh, just the
One
K's.
A.
Hey, are we talking about if I'm facing the building, the last
yeah, the
one?
one with the windows.
The
The
very
whole
end.
big
Yeah.
thing, the whole big
That's
thing
why
of
I'm trying to
K's.
figure out,
That's the empty part
yeah,
right
well,
now.
yeah, I know, well, I'm trying to figure out, this seems like a pretty big space for what you
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
what I was-
doing.
We require a lot of workspace, so for example, we have,
we have a gymnastics customer in Billerica, and when they call up and say, we need 200 leotards, we have to have space to lay out 200 leotards with decorations
Oh, yeah.
and get everything, it's a very workspace intensive thing.
Wow.
And then the equipment we use, which is, very analogous to big laser printers or something like that, it takes space, and you need space to work around it, putting things on, taking things off.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of space,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, no,
It's
yeah.
more than we were looking for. I have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
admit.
well, that's why I was trying to,
This is why I don't understand, is when I saw this from the building
Yeah.
inspector.
yeah, well,
I received an application, I am denying the application per section 800 of the Groveland zoning bylaws.
well, because it needs a special permit. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that-
There's
just-
no
Just
permitted
because it
use.
needs a special
Just a-
permit.
just a- Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right.
It's because
It should be.
it's required for a special
I-
permit.
When I did the application, I actually read the
The
proposed bylaws to
Yeah.
make sure I had everything in place, and it looks like, it
No,
looks
no,
like
you-
Groveland's going the right direction.
No, I
Just-
read this is pretty, I mean,
We're trying to get some.
it's pretty, complete, as far as, I looked at it going, wait a minute, this isn't printed, I can read it,
By the way, Tom,
You're the second person that said that to me.
Yeah, yeah, well,
But Tom,
Apparently, it's a little more informal.
Tom, that building,
We like it this way.
that building
much better.
has been retail space, was
Yeah.
built
Oh,
for
yeah.
retail
Oh, yeah.
space.
I've
It's
been
effectively,
maintaining that
it's a
building
strip mall,
since the day
effectively.
one. And I also wrote a letter to this.
and across the
selectmen.
street from it's a business.
Yeah.
So you're surrounded by businesses.
And the rest of the strip mall is all businesses too.
So,
yeah,
so in
well, it doesn't appear that,
terms of use, there's,
oh, yeah.
there
it's pretty-
doesn't,
well,
there's
I-
no issue.
Yeah,
No
I-
issue.
yeah, I don't think so either. And it appears that what you're doing, that's why I was asking if you're retail, because if you're retail, then all of a sudden, that's a big space. And then you're looking at, car, a customer
So,
parking.
so I actually counted the parking places, because that's one of the things in the new bylaws that's fairly specific that we have to check for. And I think I counted 69 parking places.
We've heard that number before,
Okay.
you're right.
And,
There's some out back.
right, there's some out back.
Yeah.
Our unit is 28.5% of the complex, so if you take that 69 and apportion it, we're talking, I think it's 19 spaces, it rounds down to 19 spaces. I put down the number of employees, which is a very outside chance that we
What type
might
of math would you be using to determine this? What type of math would you be using?
multiply, multiplication, I learned that a few years ago.
Percentage.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
I mean,
But-
K's Interiors did custom curtains and
Yeah.
everything else, and they
Yeah,
had
those-
retail there. They had
They-
lots, all they did was retail.
Yeah, they were, they were much more retail focused
Oh,
than
yeah.
we're gonna be. So even if,
You're more of a, you come in, the guy, like a parent group, and say, hey, listen, we need this, and all the coaches, you need this, we need, like you say, you
Right.
need 20, and then you, okay, bang, then you do it, and they come pick them up, put them in
Come pick 'em
boxes,
up or ship 'em
or
out.
you do, yeah,
So,
either way, yeah.
there's no, even if we are able to hire, 5 or 6 kids to help us, because we get super busy in November, right before the holidays, which would be
Yeah.
another great problem to have. 5 or 6 kids, and then 2 or 3 customers showing up. You're talking 9 spaces, and we have 19, and if you've driven by there, it's a really nice,
We try not to drive by that, anyway,
Well,
we
it-
always go the other way.
it's a nice,
There's no other way.
it's a nice little community of stores,
I cut
because,
through Georgetown. at
Yeah, we go
97.
all around, we don't wanna go by
Yeah,
there.
Hill Road.
you have,
Yeah.
you have an
That's
optometrist, so
We're
you're
familiar with it, we're kidding you.
yeah, you're only gonna have a couple, and
Yeah.
The
I-
case
do you have
side
any
of that
questions?
is
Do you have any
always
questions?
empty.
Casey?
I always, that parking lot.
You got any questions? It seems pretty benign.
No, sir.
Pretty good use. And, yeah, it would be, I think you're right about the school thing, like,
We haven't been able to do pickup before, so that would be something that we would be able to offer now,
Yeah.
is to have local customers come and pick up instead
Yep.
of shipping.
yeah.
And it's been hard, because we can't, in Topsfield, out of our house, we can't have people come meet us, especially when it's a whole bunch of people, because, we have to be respectful of the neighbor. It's the same here, right?
Yeah.
You can't run a business like that out of your house. So
Well,
it's
well,
back-
what happen, and what happens is, you could when you started,
It matter of degree.
yeah, but then all of a
Grows
sudden,
you out.
word gets out, you get, and then all of a sudden it gets bigger, bigger,
But
bigger,
you
bigger.
can't have a team of cheer moms show up at your house and discuss what they
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
leotards, it just,
Yeah.
it's,
Not only
you do-
don't you want to, you can't do it.
yeah,
You don't
just-
want your dining room table to look like his.
No.
It's a slap word.
And actually,
So,
my dining room
so
table
this
is
is this is a big step for you guys. This is
It's
great.
huge.
Yeah,
It's a big
yeah.
step.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
It's all her. She did it.
Well, good.
It's my
Yep.
fault.
So if it fails, it's your fault, huh?
No, we're way past that point now.
Good,
It's, saying no is the hardest thing,
Yeah.
right? It's,
Well, I never worried, as long as they're upfront and say, listen, I can't get them for 2 weeks or whatever, then when you go back, when they go back to the committee, it says, okay, we can't have them tomorrow, but we can have them next week, versus telling them you have them tomorrow and it doesn't get there till next week, that's the,
I don't think we've yet to not meet a deadline.
haven't had that?
no,
I've had
we,
this,
we actually get calls from other people to bail other vendors out.
Yeah, that's good.
Our biggest competition is actually people who do this but source all the product from overseas.
Oh, really?
And apparently the Chinese aren't very reputable, and they make commitments that they can't quite
Yeah,
meet, so
yeah. Well, that's
we're
a
doing it
problem.
here.
That's
Made in
good.
America.
Yeah, made in America.
Made in Groveland?
Eddie,
Yeah.
you got any
Maybe
other
Groveland.
questions?
That's right.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
do
it's,
too.
you know,
I do.
It's filling that place up. It's been empty for 4 years.
It's funny, people drive by and.
we're
they're-
bringing jobs back from China.
Any questions, Kathy?
No.
Okay, so if you don't have anything else, we're gonna just close the meeting, because this is pretty easy.
It's
Okay.
great. It's
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Okay, we'll close the hearing.
Yep.
Now, do you have to disclose that Mark has mowed the grass there, taken care of?
I've been taking care of the property. I did the plantings there since the building was built.
Yeah.
I still maintain it, but I sent a letter into the selectmen, and they
Okay.
had no problem with it.
Okay. You go up. Just one, make notice. I understand.
It's not a direct, he's not gonna make money off you.
In the letter, I said I'm gonna get paid by the condominium association whether they move in or not.
Okay,
So,
good.
Yeah, it's
All
not,
All right.
it's not.
Then, I'm gonna ask you some questions, and maybe you can help me, okay? The hours of operation? Be generous.
We were gonna keep to the hours that were in the proposed zoning bylaws, which were defined as normal.
Oh, yeah, 7 to 10.
Yeah, 7 to 10.
Sunday to Sandy. Let's see,
Yeah,
Sunday to,
it's essentially
That's
any day of
seven
the
I was
week.
gonna say, yeah, Sunday to Saturday would be 7 days a week, yeah.
Would be, wouldn't it?
Wow.
But
See
that
how
would
quick
be
I
the
am?
limit of our hours.
And that's not, I mean, and that's not every day, that's when, if you get booked up with a large
Right, and,
order, I mean, generally, you're not gonna be working 7 days a week.
right, and, a softball mom calls us up and says, we have a tournament, can I meet you at 8:15 after it gets dark? We're there, we would say,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, that would work.
I would
But
say
we don't wanna work that hard,
Yeah.
so.
Don't work that late.
So, okay. let's see. Maximum number of employees you put down, how many? Let's see. Is that even on here?
You have a max number of,
Yeah, I thought it was on, it was on my thing that, says, because we were a team.
My recollection was
Might have missed that page, 'cause I looked for that.
I didn't see it
I didn't
either.
see it either.
yeah, okay. I thought, well, maybe I missed it.
Yeah, no, I think it might, maybe there was another page and wasn't on it. But how many do you think you would have?
the maximum
Yeah,
that I
give me a big
requested
number,
was
yeah.
9, which was 50% of the parking that's allocated to unit. I don't believe we're here, but we need to
Okay.
pick a number, so that's.
I like 10 better, is that okay?
10's fine.
Okay.
Full-time equivalent.
And your signs, I read the signs, you talked about replacing existing signs with lettering. Now, it would be consistent with what's there. We've had that issue before, where it's gonna, when you drive by it, they all look similar. Is that what you had in mind? I mean, to give,
I was gonna, what our intent was to replace the K's sign
K's,
that's still
yeah,
on the building.
yeah.
Like, we haven't touched anything
Yeah,
yet
yeah.
with one that says Sparkle Gear,
okay.
okay?
What color are they now?
The Condominium Association also has rules
Yeah.
that have to be consistent there, so
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure which one's more restricted, the town or.
Yeah, well, I thought that we had an issue with them all being the same, going across the facade. I thought that there was a,
Probably
Yeah, you
required by the
wanted
condo.
You
Yeah.
wanted them
Yeah.
the same, or you wanted them different?
no, we want them all the same. That's what I thought that
Ours will reflect the same as everybody else's.
Yeah, I mean, like,
K's
if
will
it-
come down, we'll replace K's curtains with Sparkle Gear.
yeah, and it's like
In
the same
same
print or
font,
what,
in the
yeah, that's what I
same
mean, yeah,
color,
yeah, okay,
vinyl,
good,
the
okay.
whole- On the same green
Okay,
sign.
so, replace K's sign, okay.
I'm okay with neon, Tom.
But yeah, no problem, yeah.
I don't think that.
You know, I'm
Make
having,
it a requirement, please.
A sparkle
I was
sign.
gonna say, is it gonna spark?
I've been involved in sports for a long time. And in fact, I'll tell you, the first day that I got introduced to sports was the day my mother brought me home from the hospital. My brother came after me with a croquet mallet, That was my introduction to sports. But I'm having a hard time.
You hit you in the head, is that what happened?
Yeah, that's it, and that's the problem.
The
But I'm having a hard time
smoking gun.
figuring out, I've never seen sparkle on any athletic stuff that we did.
You'll have to come in or
Yeah.
sparkle-gear.com. I
Yeah.
know you're not an internet.
Yeah,
guy, but-
yeah, I have to check it out, because we never
A
had,
lot of the moms like to wear it in some more than 13s. Some
do
of
the players wear it?
No. They can wear them for practice, but they generally can't wear them for games.
We've
Okay,
had some ladies softball teams, so it's a-
yeah, because
but that's mom softball, that's not.
or maybe they had like their warm-up gear.
Yeah, they can wear it on their sweatshirts, they can wear it on all of their
Wow.
warm-up gear, athletic gear like that, but they can't wear them for.
It's a great idea.
Like,
Just-
there's rules about rhinestones on bows for, softball players, something about like too much sparkle in the sunshine, I don't
Oh,
know.
wow,
So, yeah, there's all kinds of rules, that, we learn something new every day.
oh, yeah. I remember once in Little League, I told the kids we were gonna have a special surprise. And so, just before the first game, I brought out fluorescent orange shoelaces. And you should have seen the other coaches, they all got the book out, it's gotta be Wilkins, and it was the same, they were thinking that it would be distraction. It wasn't a rule, but it was, the kids
What's
thought,
the next year?
yeah, but the kids thought, oh my God, look, we got an edge on these, and all it was, just.
Now they use orange bats, Makos.
Yeah, really,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
better back up, he's got a Mako.
yeah, really, yeah.
$300 bats,
Yeah.
yeah. They're orange,
So we got, you took a percentage of your square
ball
foot,
better.
and you came up with 19 spaces, which is 29% of the 69. And your material deliveries with UPS, that type of thing?
UPS, FedEx, Postal Service, we generally.
But it wouldn't be anything bigger than, I mean, we're not talking 18-wheelers, we're talking,
Oh,
No.
God, no.
yeah, so FedEx and or UPS type, okay.
Right, normal deliveries.
Yeah. And how about lighting? We have, what do we, is it concurrent lighting out there?
Yeah.
Is it up under the facade?
There's lighting in the parking lot, I think there's a post at either entrance. There's lighting over the sign for the condominium complex. There's lighting in the walkway near the entrance to the store.
So we're not changing it, you're gonna be using,
Nothing exterior.
utilize existing lighting.
Absolutely nothing exterior to the building.
And the only thing I didn't see on here either, and then it was the square foot of the area you're renting. Do you know what that is?
Well, actually, we own it, so we purchased it.
Oh, you buy it,
Oh, you bought it?
We
Oh,
bought it.
Oh,
I figured
Oh.
you must have, because it was bank-owned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, wow,
you
oh,
must have bought it.
good for you.
Yeah, so
Great.
We own 2 units there right now,
oh, great, great.
so.
So how many square feet?
It is 6772 is the combination of the 2 units.
What are you gonna use for this business?
This would be probably, I'm gonna, within 10%,
APX, yeah,
5,300.
5,300 approximate? Okay,
It's hard to really figure out because some of the rooms are
gotcha.
very diagonal.
Are they adjacent?
Yes.
So are you
they
going,
open?
One,
Sorry.
we own 1 and 1A.
okay, so are you gonna like knock down the wall, combine them at any
No.
point? They're just gonna stay the existing units that they
Stay-
are?
We're not gonna do any construction in there. We're hoping
Okay,
to make that available to another business at some point.
be good.
Are you interested?
No, no,
I know, I do that all the time.
passive income is great.
We've made a commitment.
So, this is wonderful, that's great. The retail office, you just have just a minimal office type thing, and
Yeah, there's 2 offices.
so would you classify yourself as a retail operation and/or a manufacturing, light manufacturing, what is it?
I would not classify us as manufacturing because our raw materials are already finished products. We put, rhinestones on shirts and we put thread into shirts, but
What do you
that's,
call that?
it's a very kind of fuzzy thing. I
What are we gonna
would call
call
it light manufacturing, but I don't know what the.
What are we gonna call it then?
Call it
I
Call
would
it
say it's
assembly.
retail, because think about what K's did. You go in there, they'd have a sample, but you couldn't really buy stuff off the shelf. You had to order it, okay, I need this size by that size. It's very similar, like if you go to a tile place, you can't just buy tile. You have to pick it out, get it, it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah, I actually struggled with this because recently, because we're moving, I had to update all my filings with the state
Yeah,
and.
what'd you put down?
Well, and they have the same issues, that you go by the classification of what the employees are doing. And almost all of our employees spend 80% of the day sitting at a computer doing design work. So technically, if 80% of the people are doing what the state calls clerical work, it's an office. But you're also selling things.
Yeah.
But you're actually putting them on the shirt,
Yeah, I
like,
sit at the computer, I make a design, I send it to the rhinestone machine, it places the stones on a tape, I take it over to a heat press, I take that
Yeah.
rhinestone design, I put it onto t-shirt, I fold it up, package it up,
Yeah.
send it out.
Yeah.
so what is that called, I wonder?
I have no light I have no
It's
idea
not
what
really
you
much
wanna call it.
different than printing a poster, you're.
Yeah,
Or
I
a
mean,
dry
it's-
cleaner, or
Yeah.
even.
That's
Well,
kind of-
so.
Yeah,
so-
well, but I mean, you're
What
not
would you
like,
call it? I gotta write something down, what would you
Yeah, he's
call it?
call it
I
retail
think-
office, that's what Sam put
Yeah.
in his
Okay,
letter.
That's what he thought,
okay.
and
Yeah.
what
He's
we
the one who
find-
makes that decision.
What did
so.
Sam put in his?
Retail
Retail
slash
office.
office,
Yeah,
works for
And-
me.
The
That's why he
best
gets
analogy
paid.
that we've come up with, because this comes up a lot, is if you think about LOB, right, you go into the LOB in Burlington and you say, I wanna buy a bag, they'll embroider on it, or they'll stick something to it.
Yeah.
Or they'll give you the bag to let it go. That's kinda what we are. So-
It's customized
Different
apparel.
degree.
Yeah, except you don't have the bags there, or do you?
Yeah.
Some.
Or the billions of dollars.
Yeah.
They customize
Oh, mine-
apparel,
mine.
Tom.
Some,
Huh?
They customize apparel
Right.
for
There you go.
retail sale.
There you go, yeah, I like that.
How's that? Suppose you could wholesale too if somebody wanted to, but it's all particular to what people want.
I like that, okay. All right, well, look, we've beat you down enough on that, so, I'm gonna make a motion. You got a question?
Nope.
No, any question,
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve application 2016-2 with the following conditions. The hours of operations will be 7 AM, 10 PM, Sunday through, I like that better, Sunday through Saturday. So you gotta like figure it out, you know, you just sort of, oh, what is that? Oh. With a maximum number of employees of 10, the signs will replace case sign, and I'm gonna put in meet current sign regulations. The parking is 29% of 69 spaces or 19. Material deliveries would be similar to FedEx/UPS trucks. Lighting will be using existing lighting, maximum square feet of the building area for the business. Let's see. What was the name of this one? This is gonna be Sparkle Gear for Sparkle Gear. Is 5,300 square feet and is be used for retail, office, customizing apparel for retail sales. All plans submitted will become part of the agreement. If the proposal is in the Aquifer Protection District, the applicant shall meet all requirements as deemed necessary by Groveland Planning Board, subject to all Groveland Board of Health rules and regulations, subject to all laws, regulations, inspections, and others of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Special permit is subject to recall if the board receives any written complaints. I'm sure you never get any complaints. No action on any variance, or special permit, or extension, modification, or renewal thereof shall take effect until after a copy of the decision is recorded in the Essex Southern District Registry of Deeds for the county and in the district in which the land is located and indexed in the index under the name of the owner, or is recorded and noted on the owner's certificate of title, and a receipt of said transaction delivered to the building inspector prior to issuance of a building permit. And finally, if the rights authorized to the applicant and/or the property owner of said special permit are not exercised within 2 years from the date of the granting of said special permit filing date with the town clerk, the board's decision, then such special permit rights shall become null and void unless a substantial use thereof has commenced except for good cause, or in the case of permit for construction, if the construction has not yet begun by such a date for good cause. Need a second.
Second.
Second, Mark. Any discussion? Hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna try to, Julie usually does this, but I'll, if I screw up, help me. Here's what happens. Julie will type this up in a form that will be recordable, and then it goes, gets recorded, and it goes back to the town
No.
clerk? No?
No.
Which
No.
goes?
She'll file it with the town
Town
clerk.
clerk, yep.
Who will date stamp it, then
They-
there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
20-day appeal period
that's right, that's
She's
right.
got it.
where anybody who doesn't agree with us can challenge
Yeah.
and file an appeal. Once the 20-day appeal period passes, on the 21st day, you can get a certificate from the town clerk that says the appeal period has passed and no appeal's been filed. You take both the decision and that certificate and record it in the Salem registry, and then you can
And then you
file
have
for
to
an
bring,
occupancy
All set.
permit.
and then you have to bring the original back to the town clerk.
Back to, yeah, town clerk.
And
And she
then I
files
can
it.
get my business permits.
Yeah, then she'll
then
give you a
you'll
permit. yeah.
contact Sam to get your occupancy permit.
Yeah. So y'all say good luck on that. It'd be interesting to see, I'll come down and look
And
at that.
We have about 14 days to get that filed with the town clerk,
Yeah,
so.
Julie's been pretty good with that lately,
So,
but right
You
now,
might check in with her to see, to make sure you know what day she files it with town clerk,
Yeah.
so you know when the
So
20
I-
days.
There's nothing I have to do with the town clerk for,
Not until
Not
it's been
until she-
filed
not
and
until
the
she's
20-day
filed and stamped.
period's been passed, then you just need to, you can call her or walk in and get the, it's just, I don't know how we do it here, but
yeah, it's
just a certificate
yeah,
that she
it's a
signs.
certificate that gets filed, that's all. You take it out, get filed, and then it comes back, and then they all set to rock and roll.
so
And
it'll take a while for her to get the paperwork from tonight's meeting.
Well,
And then I can check in with her in a couple of days.
yeah, well, we have 14 days to do it, but she's been a lot quicker than that, but you have her number. You have Julie's number? Yeah, yeah. Give her a buzz and, she couldn't make it tonight, but I'll get the paperwork to her, and and then she'll type it up and she'll get back to you when she files it.
She's quick, she won't
Yeah,
wait,
no, no,
she won't wait
yeah.
till the last
Yeah,
minute.
no, we'll get it.
Bang it right out.
Perfect.
We want you down there, get going.
Thank you very much.
And some more
Thank
tax
you.
dollars.
Thank
We
you.
need you in town, thanks for choosing Groveland to have your
Yeah.
business, and hopefully, you know,
Yeah, we like that.
So far, everyone's been great.
So fully the-
Sam Jocelyn was great to deal with,
Yeah, he is.
especially through the purchase process, right?
That's good.
That's good.
Well, I think it's a real good use of that.
Oh, it's nice to see it full now on there.
Yeah.
Geez, they were having problems for a while, now it's
no,
gonna
it's right on the town line, it's pretty good access
be nice
from,
building.
A lot of traffic.
It's nice work.
We don't go by it though, so none of us in here, we all go way out around it, so we never go through it.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, okay, thank you, yeah.
See you later.
Have a good night now, thank you. You know, let's do the regulatory stuff first before we discuss that. We have the minutes here of, well, I'll tell you what, while I'm trying to find, here they are. Here they are. Here are the minutes of April 6th, we can pass them down, and we can also pass down the, we've got a couple of, the Eagle Tribune advertising for $580.75.
I spend my days, how many days has it been since that decision? I have like my whole calendar.
Are we covering our costs? Are we pretty close, you think, with the, we lowered the 350 and with our budget?
I don't know, I haven't had to do
In
that
fact, we
yet.
were just discussing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had asked Julie about it, and she was gonna, I think she has kind of a spreadsheet going, and so I had asked her to bring it to the next meeting, but obviously she's not here, so.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
How did we talked about it, to give it like 6 months or something?
Yeah,
We
that's
did,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we haven't had that many applications, so it's
No, we
probably.
only-
I know, yeah.
I mean, This is
Yeah.
application 2016-2.
we
so-
can't lose money, we're not getting paid.
Yeah, yeah, so,
I'm supposed to sign this? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
let's see, so
Yes.
50.
We could probably, consider lowering the fee even more, Tom.
I don't
Not
think so.
until we know.
I don't think so.
I think we gotta figure out what the advertising is for each one. She's kinda keeping track of each application and how much time it takes and all of that. And the advertisement is different, I think, based on how many lines you have and all
We lowered
that.
it down from 650 to 350.
Yeah.
That's-
I know, but I wanted 325 so I could say that I cut it in half, but you denied me that.
I was thinking maybe
So
we,
now I gotta do math and say, well, we cut it 42%
You know,
or something.
I couldn't think of the term common core. That's what I was trying to rag on it.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of it in a minute. Yeah, I couldn't, I drew a blank. I've got to
maybe
see.
Dan could, cut his stipend in half and donate it to
Yeah,
us for
yeah,
the selectmen.
Yeah, that sounds like a
That'd be
good idea.
$750 we could have.
I don't think you can divide zero by anything, because I think it's an empty set. I don't think it's possible. So you got any mathematicians here? Can you divide
Law school
by zero?
beat all of the math ability out of me.
Yeah, I'm afraid that lately, I'm not good on math anymore.
I didn't go to law school, I just took the test, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do that? In some states you can.
In Maine,
Abe Lincoln did, he read
No,
for the
no, I
law
mean-
and then he
In
took
Maine
the
you can.
test.
You can
know.
Maine? I thought so.
Yeah,
Well,
Abe
you
Lincoln
have to
did, yeah.
apprentice with an attorney for 5 years.
So 5 years, then you
I
take
think
the
it's
test?
5
Yeah.
years, and then you can take the test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was just states out there.
It should be just an undergrad degree. It shouldn't be like, doctorate stuff just so they can juice you for money, but that's what it's about. It's a money-making cottage industry for somebody with,
For sure.
a tweed jacket and patches on their elbows, So it's all about, Tom. Should be like studying poli-science.
So, we're gonna just review these down here, these are just the regulatory ones. And then,
364 for, we need to sign this one?
yeah. That seems like the problem I was having was trying to understand the glitter. I have done that before with different teams, but the glitter was getting to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So now that, it's not,
It's a big thing now.
This
Is
was
it?
Julie's
I
fee.
guess.
Tom, I'm gonna abstain from this,
okay, yeah,
even though she,
I got you, yeah.
Oh.
You know, it's, yeah, the glitter, I was thinking of like a Little League baseball team, or, a glitter on it. I was trying to figure out who would buy it.
Yeah.
you were thinking like the Rhinestone Cowboy or something,
No,
What was
it
that,
was very pretty, and I like it, it was very
You know,
pretty, but
I-
I couldn't get that on the sport.
Flashing lights.
Yeah.
Rhinestone, what was that, Glenn Campbell?
He's
All right,
just
hold
not
on,
very
yeah.
hip.
Yeah.
No.
Who's not gonna be around for much longer, I'm afraid. He,
He's in tough
Okay,
shape.
so for
he has
example,
Alzheimer's. Yeah, he's.
Oh, I didn't know that, I'm
I
sorry.
just was going through this Eagle Tribune
Yeah,
ad, for
right.
example,
Yeah.
and we were just talking about the amount of money.
Yeah.
So for example, the meeting on March 22nd, the total of the ad that had to go in was $328.25 for that one. But then this other one was basically just over $300. So I think it depends on the size, what's happening at the meeting.
Yeah, I think we were
So,
trying
but
to,
that's just one meeting, and it's $328.25.
I think she was trying to find out what the average was. One might be up, one might be
Well,
down. and-
true, exactly. So, but I was just looking at
That's
this
pretty close.
and I added it up. That's just the ad. That doesn't
That's-
include
yeah,
Julie's
that doesn't
time.
No,
That
no.
doesn't include any of that stuff
Copying.
for one application, is the
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah.
that's why I just wanted to mention it while it was fresh in my,
Good.
We talked about lower advertising costs, but. you know,
Well, I don't know how we could do it. I, you know,
Eagle Tribune,
I mean, I
You
think.
know
the other one
somebody
was
over
like
there?
$140,
Yeah,
but I
but
mean,
the
you know,
circulation was,
I didn't have support, you know,
Yeah,
on my
no.
left.
no. No, you didn't.
I did what I
Still
could.
don't, you still don't, Dan.
I did
Your
what,
support on his right.
Yeah, get all kinds of support, yeah. Hey, you wanna talk to those guys on your right, 'cause you got all kinds of support.
you know, I still zealously try to advocate for the business and taxpayers within the town, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
here, there, and everywhere.
Well, I thought, this is great, that seems a lot, big space.
That's a lot of big, that's a big space.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah,
them.
I'm glad they bought it too.
Okay, so, I need a motion on the Eagle Tribune for $580.75. Wait a minute.
I make a motion to
Hold-
pay
hold-
the
hold-
Eagle
wait a minute.
Tribune.
Yeah, wait a minute. Let me get my paper here. Go ahead. Okay, yeah.
Dan made a
Dan made a
motion.
motion.
I'll second it.
Seconded, Dan,
they're very
Mark,
needy.
any discussion?
Well, I was expecting Julie to bring pens. Didn't
Any
bring
discussion, no discussion?
No.
Vote, 5-0. Okay, this is approved, 5-0. I gotta send that in. I gotta send that in.
Well, there's
Okay.
gotta be some better way with, you know, the internet and everything. I mean, newspapers are a dinosaur, so, I mean, you know, did you read the
Well,
statute on it, and it has to be a newspaper?
Gotta be in a news, oh, yeah.
Has to be a
General
publication.
circulation.
Yeah, publication.
I mean, that statute needs to be updated.
Well, they're talking about updating it in a whole host of ways, so we'll see if any of it ever happens.
Yeah, they need to update that. They just passed other legislature today in quick fashion. They need to get some.
And,
No.
I need a motion, for-
That didn't take long, but the newspaper, you know,
we need a motion for approval for Julie House in the amount of $364.45, and we'll let the record show Dan abstained.
thank you.
I'll make the motion for Julie House for $364.45.
Okay,
Second.
Mark, Casey, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
4-0. 4-0, one abstain.
Empty set.
Okay, that's good, there's that. Now we just deal with the minutes.
A lot of towns require the applicant to pay the newspaper directly for notice. You gotta sign something to authorize the newspaper to bill you directly as part of the application.
And
Might be a fair way to go. I mean,
What's that?
might be a fairer way to go.
Well, but the
That
other,
way you don't have to deal with it, you don't have to guess.
but
and
you'd have to make sure that we gave them a template.
Well, you have to give them the notice, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But, so the town places the notice, the applicant signs the agreement to say, I authorize the newspaper to bill me directly, and I'm on the hook for whatever the cost is.
You know some towns that do that?
Burlington.
Oh, look at.
Can't believe I remembered that, but it sure did.
I mean, the courts make you do it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I file legal notices for probating wills, and you gotta go onto the computer and type in, they have a form on there, and you gotta fill in the blanks and print it out and send it to the newspaper.
I'll give them a call and see
You gotta
what
pay.
the procedure is.
Yeah,
You know?
Dan, I'll give Burlington a call and just see what their procedure is.
Yeah, see if we,
Do
you know,
homework,
see if we can copy them if it's efficient or it makes sense, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
if
probably
that-
did change our forms, but if,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we're gonna do that, maybe when the
Well,
zoning
if
bylaw
that,
happens.
if that would happen, then to cover the other expenses, we could give Dan his $25.
Right,
Well, you know what, if you pass in the advertising directly onto the user, the applicant, then we're just left with administrative costs for,
then I
you know,
think
for
Burlington,
minutes taken, so then we could probably drop the application fee down to about $50.
I
Well,
think Burlington's
so.
was 50 or 100.
Is there- I'll check it out. I'll do the homework on that.
Well, but something Casey and I were discussing, and I know that we've brought this up before, is about the letters that have to go out to the abutters. So I believe right now the process is the applicant gets the list and they have to send out the notices, certified, correct?
I believe you're correct.
Okay, so, but,
Yeah, we don't do it. They do it.
yeah, but I was saying is I don't really like that, only because we don't necessarily make sure that those were served. How do we know that? We never get the receipts back. How do we know it was actually done?
Yeah, but they still have an appeal period, and
The
if
way-
they don't appeal
Yeah, the
timely,
way
they
that-
I agree,
But
but
they
if you're
weren't
not
The
notified,
way they did it in New Hampshire was that you know the receipts you had? They had to submit the receipts.
And that's, if we're gonna do it this way, that's how it
Yeah.
should be done.
I agree,
We have,
Planning board does that.
yeah,
right.
They have to submit the
receipts,
stuff.
the other stubs, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we could verify that with the list. So, yeah, so that would work, yeah.
All right, and maybe Julie's doing some of that already, and I'm just not aware of it. I don't know. It always just never really sat right with me.
No, I agree. That's the way it was in New Hampshire. I know that the applicant brought all the receipts in and then just checked them. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we
I
can get that
did it
down.
on a variance up in Maine.
How we doing on the minutes down there?
Over the years. I was reading them.
Okay, read it. Let's get that done so we can get on to something big and better here. 'Cause I wanna show you guys something interesting. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what they were doing, because I know the space was huge. I'm thinking, boy, that seems like a...
You're obviously not into a lot of girls' sports.
No, I'm not in the girls' space.
They got a machine that puts rhinestones on something, that's gonna be pretty big.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Now, my granddaughter does sports, but they don't, no glitter yet.
Well, a lot of like the dance costumes and stuff, they're very expensive,
Well, you know
and they're
something?
usually very
Now that you mention that,
decorated.
Marie's
Did they have a
niece
movie?
has, I've seen her, I didn't think about that, yeah. I've seen
They're
some of those
quiet,
outfits.
can't hear the barking dogs.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I've seen some of those, yeah. I never even thought on where they got quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing down here.
And like, usually the ice skating outfits, they have to have the whole, costumes and stuff. But like, my girlfriend, her daughter's in dance, and she had to buy like
Okay.
14 outfits this year. It's crazy. Yeah, so it's expensive.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the minutes of April 6th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 6th, 2016.
Casey makes a motion,
Second.
seconded by Kathy. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, so we're all set with this stuff. Now, the only other thing on the agenda, Dan wanted to talk about the review of the current zoning regulations, and I just want to run by a couple of things. One of the things that I wanted to share with you guys is part of some of the training that I went through in municipal code enforcement training in Maine, and from the state planning office, was talking about enforcement of zoning and land use regulations. And I just so that everyone understands what this is, what zoning is about, I'll just read this first. This talks about zoning, and a zoning ordinance consists of two parts: the text of the ordinance and a map that shows the locations of the districts. The text specifies requirements that apply to each proposed use. To satisfy legal standards, land use ordinance must contain certain provisions. Although the order of their presentation within the document may vary, taking it a step further, the more explicit language of the ordinance, the more efficiently and effectively it will do what its creators intended. And with an understanding of the intent of the ordinance, a CEO should make the planning board aware of ordinance language that would be improved or issues that are adequately dealt with within the ordinance. Work with the planning board to improve an ordinance will make administration and enforcement of easier tasks involved. It just seems that when we, this might be something that you might wanna read too, because it's a real good book on land use. It just seems that in looking at this, and I don't know, did everyone get a copy of the letter that I sent? After the meeting, you asked me to write a letter, and I did. Just for the record, one of the things that was troubling to the board, and what I wrote was that the board noted on pages 21 through 24, under the business zone, these businesses, and I'll read them, were no longer permitted. Advertising, public relation offices, animal clinic/veterinary hospital, animal grooming, auto sales facility. Keeping in mind, this is business zone. Auto sales facility, building supply, car wash, I guess this is CATV, would be cable TV system facilities, cell phone towers, computer application services, computer software services, computer data storage, computer networking, computer telecom and wireless, contracted enclosed facilities, educational non-exempt, express parcel pickup, farm non-exempt, hardware store.
Can't have a
Jewelry
hard-
no,
Can't
that-
have a hardware store in town?
No, jewelry, well, this is in the business zone,
That would be
okay?
terrible
This
for
would be, this would be, you can't have these. These are, and keep in mind, this is non-permitted under the proposed use.
Can't have an advertising company?
Jewelry manufacturing, a kennel, life property, casualty insurance, light manufacturing,
Casualty insurance company?
can't have it.
Can't have an insurance company in town?
No. Medical equipment wholesale, motor vehicle body repair, motor vehicle light service, movie theater, nursing slash.
Movie theaters, no movie theaters?
No, not in the business zone.
Well, everyone's got a television, we don't need
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah, probably, that's probably what they were thinking. Nursing and convalescent home, parking private, pharmacy, retail large, self or mini storage facilities, a shopping, retail service center, can't have that in the business zone.
Can't have a shopping center?
Not in the business zone,
No,
no.
this is the one that someone proposed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this someone's vision of utopia?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it's utopia.
Yeah. The sporting goods manufacturing, staffing, outsourcing services, standalone kiosk, drive-through, walk-up, warehouse, wholesale facility, commercial recreation outdoor,
So
golf.
blanket wholesale facility, just no wholesale facilities.
In a business
Not in the
district.
business zone, no,
Where do you put it?
I
That's
can't go
free.
into that.
Any wholesale,
Uh,
even though there's no foot tracking, you might have all shipping
Yeah,
internationally and stuff.
Well, you can't have it in a business zone.
No accounting?
Accessory home
If you don't have it in
operation,
a business zone, where do you have it?
Dan, I don't know. You have to ask the person who prepared
You know,
this.
do we put it in town forest or something? I mean, where do we put it?
I don't know. But it's clear that, it's clear to me that the way it works, and I was doing some research on I'm on the committee for my class reunion, and we're gonna invite some teachers, so I started chasing down some teachers out of my yearbook, and I found one in Woburn. That's still alive. And,
At your age?
yeah, he's still alive. So so anyways, as I was going through Woburn, I jumped onto some
Looks like a
site
good
that,
doctor.
I got on a site that talked about, they were redoing the zoning ordinance.
No kidding.
And it talked about the master plan that they require to be done every 10 years. And we call them, in Maine, we call them comprehensive plans, in New Hampshire, they call it a comprehensive plan. But it's, when you do the plan, a comprehensive plan of the town, you may decide, oh, this is no longer a good idea in this area, but this is. And then, you know, you have hearings and whatever, and public hearings, and you formulate a new type of master plan, and then based on that master plan, then you do this. But I can't find anywhere where there was ever a master plan that precluded having a computer repair shop in a business zone.
You know?
I mean, you
Well,
bring
in
it,
fairness, I mean, a master plan isn't going to, is at a higher level, a more
Yeah,
conceptual idea of, you know, where you wanna focus your
Yep.
economic activity, where you wanna focus your residential activity, what sort of, you know, types of businesses you would like to attract, so you might create a town program to
but wouldn't,
fund money into that.
wouldn't
But-
these be discussed at that time, that we don't want this, this we
And then
not
the
really-
zoning ordinance should be used to implement
Yeah.
those sort of higher level.
Yeah, that's right, reflect the discussions.
Right, so that if your your comprehensive plan or master plan says, you know, we want our business district to focus on Route 97 where there's great access and, you know, you wouldn't then zone Route 97 residential. You would zone it business and then decide what, you know,
But that would
based
be-
on those
that would be
other
based on
things in
what?
the comprehensive plan,
Why would that be, what would that be based on?
what uses?
Yeah.
To implement the goals and objectives of your comprehensive plan. If you don't have one, then
Then how do you change it?
how do you change a zoning ordinance?
Yeah, without a plan.
Well, by vote of town meeting.
Yeah, but
You know,
what I mean is that, how
What
do you?
you're saying is it's not a principled decision.
No,
doesn't mean
how,
that you
no,
can't do
how
it.
do you get to this, how do you even get to this point where this stuff gets put down on paper? You know, how does it get there without a plan? I mean, I find some of these things, as Dan said, you know, computer software services, a computer application, you know, I've had places where, you know, your computer's broke, they take it in, they get all the viruses off. You drop the computer off, he takes it out in the back room, and he does whatever he does his magic, brings it back, you pick it up, you leave.
I think that.
Not permitted.
The point is that, you know, for example, applications like we had tonight
Yeah.
should be permitted as of right. We shouldn't have to go through the
Yeah,
same kind of
exactly.
process. And the table that is proposed in this, proposal, first of all, wouldn't permit a lot of those, and in other instances would require people like this to come in and seek approvals, and it doesn't make sense.
The matrix seems arbitrary.
Right.
It seems entirely subjective. I mean, you can't have a computer business, you can't have what, an insurance agency?
No?
So, you know, part of me says, why? Is that to limit competition from the existing businesses in town? What was the intention of whoever drafted that to exclude insurance agencies in town? You know, well, we already have one, you know, or two. So, you know, what's the point of excluding advertising? You know, I mean, it's a broad
I mean, most
category.
of the,
So,
most of the
you-
businesses that we
you-
read, Dan, were walk in and walk out. I mean, it wasn't, high, intense.
It's
numbers.
excluded wholesale.
Yeah,
So wholesale's not necessarily a foot traffic business. You make an order online and you know, truck
Insurance.
pulls up, ships it out.
Yeah.
So that's low impact on traffic in the community, which might be a concern of some of the residents is, are we gonna, you know, let's say you put a mall and take it to the extreme. You know, do you really want another, you know, $5,000-$10,000 car, 10,000, you know, cars a day coming down, you know, your street? So, there's an extreme. So, why would you exclude a wholesale business? You know what I'm saying? So, what fits in the community, I agree with you, Tom, there should be a master plan, is what would fit our bedroom community.
Well, yeah.
Add value
Yeah.
to us in terms of commercial, you know, impact without the yellow school bus added infrastructure. So there's a balance there, because you need some businesses in town to defray the cost of to broaden the tax base. But you also want to be cognizant of how much traffic and what impact
Well,
is it gonna
exactly.
have on community life.
That's right.
But without that master plan, it's kinda like, you got a compass and it's like, all right, guys, where are we going today?
Well, that's the point, is
Well, you-
without a master plan, it is arbitrary. It's not a
Goodness.
community designed.
It's not a community design that
I
was
mean, you know-
created by its draftsmen, and it was subjective with whatever that person
Yeah,
had
the-
in their mind,
the-
and I
the
don't
way-
know what they had in their mind.
The way this usually works is that you have like a real estate broker, you may have a homeowner, you may have a contractor,
A committee of some sort, put
and then-
together.
And they sit down and say, okay, in this area here, we think we should have ding, 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 ding. Then you narrow it down, and you narrow it down. I don't know how this happened, but it just seems that some of the things that really should be allowed,
It didn't fly anywhere, right?
no, it didn't.
No.
But Dan wanted to bring it up to just talk about
Well,
it.
wanna just talk about it. I mean, it almost made it to town meeting for vote,
Yeah,
okay, and I think that,
It didn't, it wasn't
No, it's
on,
pulled.
it was pulled from the warrant.
oh my God, I had to go,
Busy.
I had to get little, active on the Board of Selectmen here to stop that, and I had support on the Board of Selectmen. But the planning board argued, oh, no, there was, it's the same as what we have.
yeah.
It's not the
No.
same as what we have. There's
We had a
material.
hardware
No.
store in Groveland back in the sixties and
This not-
seventies.
It's
make
not
no-
the same as what we
Dan,
have, so I got frustrated with the semantics of it all.
Make no mistake, though,
It was,
the matrix idea
it's a good
is
idea.
a good idea.
Yes.
I mean,
I
this
agree
is
with
the way it should, but, and Kathy Franson was sitting right there the day I said, I was asked about it, and I said, I didn't like it, and the person got all upset about it. But the one thing that's really lacking in this thing, and I've done this, I'm looking at as an enforcement issue, is that there's no wiggle room here. It's trying to cover every item in the whole wide world, and that that somewhere along the line, Mark finds online a business that's, hey, great idea, but it's not listed. You gotta wait till town meeting to get it changed. There's nothing in here to.
It should
allow
have a
for
broad
that.
category of office and retail is permitted, okay? These are excluded if we want to exclude, the marijuana dispensary from, being in a certain location. So we could have, a list of things that don't belong
I saw where it
in a
said,
certain area,
it,
and then everything else ought to be broad.
We
You know.
also have very few zoning districts, so it's hard to differentiate
But-
by district,
But,
but.
but the other thing is, I think that when the building is permitted, for instance, that strip mall, it should come with a use that's permitted.
yeah, I agree.
So as long as you meet that, okay, it's, a doctor's office, or it's a retail, apparel, a clothing, store, as long as it meets, retail or whatever,
Yeah.
office,
The,
they don't need to come in
No,
here,
they
they
don't
go
need
to
to
the
come in here,
town
right?
clerk
Yeah.
to get their $50
Yeah,
perm,
the,
just a business notice.
It should come out of in this particular stand, but I mean, that office should be able to handle that. If it meets ABC, it's a done deal. It shouldn't have to come.
We should just only handle the appeals on, they wanna put a gas station in
Yeah,
it and it
or-
requires
Or
environmental.
now, that's why I was trying to figure out, is it manufacturing?
But those are special permit
Yeah,
things.
now, if it's manufacturing, there's a degree of manufacturing.
How much waste do you create in the production of what you're
And
doing?
now, they may say, if you retail, it's okay, but if it's manufacturing, you have to come for a special permit. So
Mm-hmm.
then we decide, okay, what are you really manufacturing? Well, we're taking the
You're
sprinkles and,
looking at
yeah.
noise and.
And how much, how,
What kind of machines and
Yeah, yeah,
equipment and
yeah,
everything
yeah.
else?
How many drums are coming in? or
yeah,
something.
and what type of environmental issues, that type of thing. That's legitimate, but, yeah, it's.
But it's more than I wanted you to look at it, because where we left it at the Board of Selectmen was that the planning board was gonna hold hearings between now and the fall. And our tentative plan is to have a special town meeting. I call it mid-year planning. Because I don't think we should go a year between,
Yeah,
I think we need to tweak things to fine tune and make
there's
adjustments.
one other-
I'd like it to be quarterly, but government doesn't work that way. I'll shoot for just mid-year planning and see what we can accomplish, meeting twice a year to try to make adjustments, get things to speed up in terms of shorten,
Is there-
duration between completion
There
and
have been-
cycles, but, so, they're gonna have hearings, and I wanted us to see if we could either maybe have a special meeting, or if some of us wanna work on the changes, we can discuss it as a group and then submit it to the planning board and say, this is what we want.
Well, I don't,
then we can meet with them at one of the public hearings and we can, discuss each of our issues. But I think we ought to rough out a general framework on, this is what we have a problem with in the document, this is what we like. I mean, these things are good, it's not all bad. A lot of it is legalese, reformatting, a lot of it was indexing, A used to be one, and there were cross-reference mistakes. So some of that is cleanup. But again, there's a lot of substantive changes in there that affect,
Yeah.
if you're a property owner in a business district, you have a bundle of rights that comes with your ownership interest in the property, and you should know when you buy it with predictability what you can do with the property. For instance, this couple here bought those 2 units, not knowing what the permitted uses were, because this town doesn't have any permitted uses. I don't think an owner or a prospective buyer should have to gamble on, if I invest X, I gotta go before the board and figure out if I can even have this business here. So,
yeah, I may have a vacant building.
Right.
Yeah.
You might have yourself a foreclosure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
So-
personally know someone who looked at buying that, and for the exact
The
reason
reason
you're
you're talking-
talking
yeah.
about, they said, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to go in front of the zoning board anytime we wanna change a tenant or anything like that?
It's a gamble.
Exactly, and it is a gamble, and so they said, forget it, it's just too much of a
It
risk.
affects market values of real estate, it affects the, how much you can charge for rent.
Exactly.
It affects, look at what they have to go through to get that permit.
Yeah, I mean,
They
I don't,
can wait 14 days for Julie.
Yeah.
Let's just take it to the extreme, 14 days, okay?
in 20,
And then 20. So what day of the month is today, right?
First.
The first.
You're not making a
Filed
mortgage
it in
payment without
April
making any
too.
money.
Sometimes we can go as late as the 7th, right? In theory, we meet the
Yeah.
first week of
Right.
the month.
yeah,
So it's possible that you straddle what?
2 months.
Maybe even 3 months.
Yeah.
Before you can legally open up shop. So, I mean, I think that's awful for business. It's awful for real estate values. It needs, we need the bylaws for that and many other reasons. It violates skit case, not having permitted uses. I mean, it's just, you
So
can't.
there was at least one public hearing on this before town meeting, and the planning board did receive comments. Do we know if they are?
You went to one of the meetings.
Yeah.
Were you satisfied with that meeting?
No, and I'm wondering if they are producing a revised version, if that's the intent at this point, or are they waiting for more comment?
They're gonna have hearings and wait for comments, so, I mean, those are gonna happen, and.
You made comments?
But here's the risk. If we get to special town meeting and they had those hearings and nobody showed up, and we don't put our input into it, what's gonna happen at special town meeting? They're gonna say, we did what you asked, we had the hearings, nobody had any issues with it, we're gonna ask to bring it to the people and vote on it.
Yep.
So effectively, I could foresee that just being a default document.
Yeah.
That's
no.
dangerous.
And so
I think we need to weigh in. We know how this impacts people. We're in the business.
I think
We-
that
we
beyond
s- We see
commenting-
the people coming in here. We talk to people. And we know a lot of it isn't fair, it isn't right.
Hold on, what were you gonna say?
And it did, beyond commenting on it, I think it would make sense for us to try to propose the language, because I don't think that from the comments received at that hearing in March or whatever it was, that there was little inclination to redraft. So,
Change anything.
so
Yeah.
if something,
What do you mean
if
by
there's
little,
something.
little inclination? They're already, it's
No.
already set in stone in their mind?
And they didn't say it exactly that way, but
They weren't open-minded and receptive to,
I think it would make sense for us to propose what we would like it to look like.
I haven't had a chance to research this, but there, and I can't find it real quickly, but there's a provision in the, it might be in the matrix, that says that, mobile homes, or manufactured housing, I forget which was, is prohibited. And, right here, well anyways,
well,
you can't prohibit them. I mean, federal law doesn't allow that. And I was chairman of the manufactured housing, and said to me, you cannot prohibit them.
manufactured homes.
Can't
I
prohibit.
didn't think so, but
No,
I
you
and I
can't.
couldn't find.
That's a
I
federal
couldn't
law.
find
What
the
about
statute.
mobile homes?
Same thing. You can't, now, what you can do,
Which require foundations and
well,
other things.
they
Well,
do.
you can zone
They do.
for 'em.
Yeah, you can, you could be, I don't wanna words in anyone's mouth, but there are ways to make it less attractive to put them in the town. But you can't say, and this one actually says it's prohibited, and I believe that's against federal law.
Okay, so why don't we all go through it and cross out? And, I mean, if we look at other towns' bylaws, we can, you know, borrow some language, plagiarize, if it's in the public domain,
Well, I mean,
grab it.
that's what this.
So,
here
so
is.
there has to be some language there that might be more broad in context that says you can have retail and office in this location, and that ought to be added, okay? So, the matrix, I think it ought to read something to the effect that, you know, in the business district A, okay, retail and office are permitted by right. Some examples, but not limited to, okay, are as follows. You give the matrix. So what you do is you give discretion, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
For something that you overlook, because you're not gonna let, and you might have an entrepreneur comes up with a new widget, and what are you gonna say? You can't have it in our
You know
town
what I
because we
said?
don't know what it
I said
is.
that.
I've said that
several
too, you
times.
know, it's like,
You know,
can't keep, the government can't keep up fast enough
No, you
with
gotta,
every
you gotta have
new
wiggle room,
thing.
there's no wiggle room on this.
you
By the
can't-
time we get to town meeting, there'll be 10 more new businesses
That's right.
that pop up that wanna come into town, by the time you get it all, you know.
It-
I wanna
So to
make
list
drones.
everyone individually is.
We wanna make-
You know, but you're right, Dan, that's,
So, if the concerns are, we wanna look at manufacturing carefully. So what we do is require special
Special permit.
permit for anything other than,
Retail.
non-waste producing assembly type
Yeah, I
of
mean,
businesses.
If you buy
I-
10 parts put together, you sell it, like a drone. If you buy all these parts put together,
Yeah.
and there's no waste,
Yeah,
you know, that, I guess that you could say that's manufacturing, but it's not like you're actually, you're not,
one's
You're not
assembly.
bringing in
You know,
any-
you-
You're
no,
not
no,
bringing in any.
yeah, it's not a kiln where you're
chemical-
making the stuff.
Right.
If
You
you
don't
had
need
a
speed
business,
drive.
if you had a
Yeah,
business that put together Lego sets.
Yeah.
And sold a fully assembled 5,000 piece Lego,
Yeah,
you're not producing any waste,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there'd be some sort of assembly.
Well, I think Mark was good, what was that, you know, you can't,
You're not bringing any speedy dry in.
yeah, to clean up the.
Right.
No 50-gallon drums of lubricant
Yeah,
and
yeah,
solvent
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, was that tetrachlorine?
But when you do that, you do have to create standards for, you know, for Sam, who's going to be administering the code, he needs to be able to make a determination based on standards about how to exercise his discretion. Otherwise,
That's right.
the bylaw's just as
But-
invalid as it is now.
But you gotta realize.
It can't be overly broad, and it can't be vague,
Yeah,
it
but
can't be
listen,
ambiguous,
But
but,
if someone's aggrieved by Sam's decision, they can appeal to the board.
Yes,
You know, so, I mean, he,
but we also have to have standards to
I
base our
understand.
decisions on.
yeah, that's right. But,
but we could have that matrix, including but not limited to.
that's right.
So you give examples, and that becomes the framework for your community standard.
Yeah.
Dan, I've brought that up several times and
But,
it's
but
not
you
there.
can't just have a rigid bylaw. Well, you could, and this is what their attempt is, right? Which I think might be protectionist or at the least. I don't know what the purpose of, you know, why can't you have a movie house in town? I mean, would it really bother somebody to have, you know, whatever, you know,
I got back to the computer.
a cinema in town?
I got back to the computer because I
I
had
don't know if it would be successful, but that's not my business, you know? Somebody might take the risk and go out of business on a movie theater in town, you know? It might bring in
And
too much
insurance.
traffic.
You can't have an insurance
You
office?
can actually,
There was a casualty insurance, right?
because
Right
the
here.
insurance agency office is
Okay,
permitted.
but life, property, and casualty
Well,
insurance.
I think that, I mean,
You can't sell life insurance.
So there's nothing in there that says you can't have a porn store though, right?
is that in the prohibited? You can't have a rendering plant, that's for sure. Slaughterhouse.
No slaughterhouses?
But
How do
I-
we
You
eat?
know, the thing is,
Where does food come from?
I'm wondering where this came from, that's all.
Does it come from the Chicago meatpacking plants? I mean,
You know,
I'm
it's,
surprised you can't have a seamstress.
no.
so,
No racetracks either, sorry.
the history of this town, that used to have Pine Motor
Yeah,
Speedway.
really.
I mean,
Oh,
it has a tradition, so, I mean, that should be grandfathered in. We should have a NASCAR sanctioned track in town.
Can you imagine telling somebody you're gonna come into the Grove and go in front of the zoning board and the planning board, I'm gonna put a racetrack along the Merrimack River?
Is that what, it used to be one?
Right up
Oh,
back
yeah,
there, the
the
Pines.
Pines.
Yeah. Couple of cars went right into the river.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Must have been a good race.
Yeah, I would like to watch that.
So
Mr.
are we
Why are you
gonna
still-
have another meeting to do like a work session type thing? Is that what
Well,
you were proposing?
You're an attorney, and I think you're highly skilled, and I respect your intellect and your hard work.
Want me
And
to
I
write it?
thought that,
Is that what
you
you're
know,
suggesting?
I thought we
think-
could, I thought we
I think
could,
you are being
I
volunteered.
thought we,
Be careful what
I
you
thought
say,
we
you
could
get
have-
volunteered.
Yeah,
I thought we could have you rough it out, and then we'll take a look at it.
On your free time.
Yeah, can I bill you guys?
You know,
getting paid might be
Whatever's left
difficult.
over in our budget.
Yeah, getting paid may be difficult.
public service, it's
Yeah.
good, makes you feel good.
Well, but do you think that we should have a work session
I
before
think
that
we should-
gets created?
I think we should have a work session where we just go page by page.
Like Tom says, cross everything out. that
Page
we-
by, page by page. Page 2, you guys got a problem, I'll turn the page, check it off. Just keep rolling through it. We have to go from page
Well,
1 to
you know,
page
you
whatever
know,
it is,
My
and
letter,
roll through it.
my letter said that,
You mean the whole thing, not just the
yeah, the whole,
matrix?
yeah.
The
Yeah,
whole,
thing.
the
Well,
whole
Yeah, what happened
new
was,
bylaw, the whole thing from A to Z.
what I wrote as a result, when you asked me to write the letter on.
Just proofreading the doc?
On the April sixth meeting, I was asked to write a letter, and then,
You,
So I
you you didn't come to that zoning, the BOS meeting, I wanted you there.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah.
I did,
Thanks for the help.
I know, I'm sorry. But, second paragraph, it was the board's understanding, that the boards, mean the zoning boards, that the changes to the zoning bylaws would be done in 2 phases. The first phase would include language changes to clean up ambiguous language with no substantial alteration to current zoning bylaws. And the second phase, after input from town of Groveland citizens, would incorporate subsequent changes. That's what we discussed. But, I don't see that, I don't see that, when I was reading through some of these things, these aren't just cleaning up.
No,
These
but
blue
what-
things in the back, isn't just cleanup language.
But Tom, that battle was argued at BOS, they agreed to withdraw it.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the hearing, so now is our time to kinda speak now or forever hold our peace, cause if it gets the special town meeting and we didn't chime in on it, it's
Yeah.
kinda like, you know?
Yep, too
I
bad.
mean, waiting's for buses, we gotta act on it, or it's just, it's gonna go in the format it is, so. I think we ought to have, maybe we could make it, well, that's the first week in July, whatever that is, I mean, we're gonna meet that week?
Yeah, well, when is that?
I don't wanna meet the week of
No,
the
it's week of
fourth,
the fourth.
can we do the following week?
We could do the third, isn't the third weekend we usually do it? I think
Friday's the
Charlie,
first.
we're the first and third, aren't we?
The first Wednesday in July is the
It's the
6th.
Yeah,
Six.
Out
So
that week, I'm
after
out.
the fourth.
But then, aren't we scheduled usually if we had a second meeting, it would be the third week?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
That's
So-
pretty far into the summer, though. How many hearings are they planning on
I
having?
think we don't even have a hearing in what,
In July?
In
July?
August,
August?
August,
Yeah.
we
Oh, we
usually
don't
take.
meet
Why don't we meet Wednesday, the 13th?
Well, I can't see the calendar from here.
Well, hold on a second, so we would have our normal meeting on the 6th, and then this would be an additional meeting, is that correct?
Well, we don't.
Make sure I'm understanding.
No,
No,
we're talking about
in
July.
I think we should just have a meeting on July 13th, Wednesday. How many permits could we have?
Yeah, we may not even have any.
So if we
We've taken
just,
care of all the regulatory stuff, so we may not even have any.
so we just put 2 things on the agenda. Whatever permits in front of us and,
And so instead of, because there's a lot of people being on vacation that week of the fourth, so let's do it the 13th.
that's what I'm
13th
saying,
is,
I'm not gonna be around.
Well, let me just, I can't see the calendar, but let me see ours again, it would actually be the 20th.
No.
because that would be the
No,
3rd.
Monday's the 11th.
Yeah, but see.
Monday's the
we-
11th, the
Right.
12th
we-
is Tuesday,
we usually
13th is
have- Yeah,
Thursday.
but the
I mean,
zoning board of
Wednesday.
appeals has the first and the third Wednesdays.
We'll meet in the other room.
Yeah.
What do you mean the
Well,
first
but
and the
our,
third?
but that's our published schedule, is that if
Right.
we have a second meeting, it
Yeah,
would be
it
the
would-
third
third
week of
week.
the month.
Oh, if we're flooded
That's our
with,
schedule.
Yeah, yeah. Because like if we had to continue this and it was, and then we say, well, we'll try to help you along, we could meet them
Yeah, instead of making them wait a whole nother month.
Yeah, we come in.
Right.
Well, why don't-
Or it's
Does
usually
anybody
reserved
wanna-
for 40B applications where
Yeah.
you have to meet on
Yeah.
a regular basis.
Yeah.
But if we scheduled the second week in July, if we had to come back, we'd do it on the following week.
Well, except that.
The likelihood of
except
that is,
Except that, our scheduled meeting is the first.
it's possible we could run 3 in a row. I mean, you know, I'm not a
What about
gambling
meeting
man,
the
but I don't think it's gonna
Third
happen.
Wednesday in June, 2 weeks from today. Is that too fast for everybody?
That's what I was
What's the
thinking,
day
but
is
of
that?
course I
The
have an
15th.
appointment, I won't be,
What?
I wouldn't be here.
The 15th.
The 15th? So,
Yeah, you know what,
2 weeks from
yeah.
today.
2 weeks from today, it's
Yeah,
the
I
third
could do
Wednesday.
the 15th.
Is that,
Are you gonna be around?
Yeah, actually, I will be for the 15th. I
Yeah,
wasn't
I-
for the 22nd.
So if
for
we do the
15th.
15th, there'll be no hearings, we'll just have workshop.
Just be workshop.
That's it,
27th,
us.
was that another one?
No.
No, it would be the June 15th is what we're
Yeah, what were you
discussing.
saying, you weren't gonna be around for,
The 22nd, which is the following Wednesday.
right.
That's what we were talking
it's
about.
just because June starts on a Wednesday, there's actually 5
Okay,
Wednesdays in
that-
June.
Yeah.
Right, so it's actually right, it would be the third Wednesday is the 15th.
Tom,
Go ahead.
here's another suggestion. I mean,
Go
I
ahead.
think we have the workshop.
Yeah,
We submit our proposed changes to
Yeah.
the planning board.
yeah.
I think we CC the Board of Selectmen on it, so they know
Yeah.
we're working on it. Okay?
What's the date again?
Because ultimately, it's the Board of Selectmen that approve a warrant for town meeting. So
Yeah,
they vote for positive resolution or they vote it down.
If you,
So
We have a
I,
while.
no, but I think it's important, the Board of Selectmen, know what's going on, they know what's being worked on. I think it's important they know that we're cooperating and working with the planning board. And I think we go from there.
How far in advance does it have to go on a warrant? Is it like 30 days before town meeting?
I'm not sure of the final deadline on that, but I
But it
mean,
would be sometime in the fall, so we basically have all.
oh, yeah,
all
we
summer.
have all summer. You know, I mean, I don't know what the
I'm really
notice
excited
is,
Are you doing a second town meeting in the fall?
special town
Special,
meeting, they call
Oh,
it.
special,
I
okay,
call it mid-year planning.
okay. So can I ask of a
I don't make
request for
that
that
call. I mean,
meeting?
I can't call that right now, but I mean, we did last year. It seems like we have a more agenda that, you know, there's gonna be enough agenda for, you know, early October meeting.
For sure.
Yeah, and we had talked about this
Okay,
going on a special town meeting. Cause you get the May, first week in May annual meeting, and there's so much involved in just the budget. When you add 23 warrants to it, there's a tendency to just kinda rush it through.
Oh, I
So,
agree. I think
you
it
know, I don't
probably
really
needs
like
its
that. I
own-
think people to think about it and
it's a
do the right thing.
big change and big difference, so.
You know, there's a big difference. And last year, we had a special town meeting in the fall, and we talked about some Pines things, and we voted through some other things that needed to be approved or not approved, you know. So I think it's gonna happen. But we have June, July, and August. So
So-
I think if we can get it done,
okay, I think, so the 15th, we'd have a, what would you call this meeting?
Workshop.
Just a workshop meeting, okay.
Could I ask that maybe we meet at 7 instead of 7:30? Would that be?
Yes.
Fine.
Would
Or
that
even
work? Does that
6:30.
work? Can you guys get here that early, or?
He gets to the selectmen's meetings, it's,
6:30 is cutting it close.
well, I pushed
but
it up till 7 last night. I mean, you
7
know,
I can get it.
what are we talking about, June 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
long
doing it
would
on,
it be,
at
couple
7
hours?
instead of 7:30.
Yeah, why don't we just why don't we say it, 2 hours, or so,
Yeah.
anything beyond that, we'll try to go over it and come up with some
they're
suggestions.
televised?
If everybody's got
No,
their
no.
notes
Would it be
ready, that would
televised?
be good.
The only thing is, you know, it's still baseball season.
Yeah.
The last game for my sons tomorrow night, but if they make the playoffs, they keep going type of thing, so we're only
Yeah,
talking 2 weeks out, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
not missing a playoff game or a championship game if they get the, so,
Have your wife videotape it.
come on. Yeah, good father,
We could
yeah,
meet at the
watched you on
field.
TV.
That'd be fine with me.
You can work.
We could meet at the.
All right, I gotta eat.
Oh, yeah, let's meet at the field, there you go.
Yeah, well, we need to feel.
We'll just, I wanted to meet outside tonight, but they don't have no
There's-
cameras out there, it's too
Workshop
nice to
at
sit
the-
in here.
All right, you wanna go there? If my son's in a baseball game.
Does this have to be
We're gonna have the
televised?
meeting.
Does this have to be
We'll
televised?
have a quorum.
We don't want this televised, right?
Does that have to be
Or
televised?
should we?
There's no requirement that it be televised, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I
if
mean,
it's-
we can, it's up to Charlie.
It's
Public
up to
hearing,
Charlie.
but
Do you wanna?
I don't know what the rules
Well,
are
but
about
then-
that.
Do they
then the
usually
public
televise
But
workshops?
this was more for us
No.
to just sit
It's
and
still
go
gotta
through
be
it.
a public hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we won't
It's an open
televise it.
meeting law
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't have to let people comment.
They'd probably be bored with it anyway, all this.
I'd say run it by Denise, I mean,
All
we
right.
want transparency and we want as much on the cable as,
Yeah.
what's that?
Might
Now-
not get the rules.
Yeah, I'll check it out tomorrow, and for the 15th at 7 o'clock.
15th at 7.
Okay. And we don't have anything else to discuss, how about, do we have
I have a
do
Question.
you have anything else? Go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
When does our appointment go through? Is it through the end of this month?
Through the end of June.
Depends on which one you got.
Yeah,
What
I
the-
was appointed through June of this year. It's June 30th.
Oh, yeah.
Why was that, you got the tail end of somebody's term?
Yeah.
The 30th.
I just wanted to make sure that before,
We'll take care of it.
There's a whole list of appointments,
I'm sure
Yeah, we'll take
it's
it.
being taken
and
care
the
of.
Board of Selectmen pretty much does them all at once.
Yep.
I figured.
And that's gonna be the next meeting,
Oh, well, there
pretty
you
sure.
go.
Yeah.
How convenient.
You know, I'll have to abstain, cause I'm on the
We
board.
still don't have any alternates, huh?
Anything else? Anything else?
Do I have anything else?
Nope, I don't have anything.
No, I think we're moving in the right
I
direction.
think Dan's been in this room too long,
I'm good.
between yesterday and today.
How about a motion? to
Yeah, and I got a
adjourn?
meeting tomorrow night, with CPC, you know?
Motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:56 PM.
56 PM.
Tom, while I got you here,
Hold on. Adjourn, yeah,
used to be a building inspector, right?
I did.
Hold
Second.
on.
I'll second it.
Second to Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're all set, Charlie. Thank you.
Let's talk about, international building code, the
IBC.
the little bath.